Well,
I
Tony
really
Stewart
think
had a big weekend. Of course, Tony Stewart's wife won, and I forget her name, Mrs. Stewart, won the top fuel division at NHRA drags over the weekend.
you ever see Tony wanting to run that at that level?
Well, I think he
I
qualified.
know he's played around with that, but I mean,
Yeah, I think he qualified to run and get a license, whatever you have to do. Paul knows a little more about drag racing than I do, but I think he's could if he wanted to.
The gal is she's great. She was just starting when I was doing NHRA, Leah Pruett, and she's a remarkable woman. I mean, she's bright, and I can see why Tony thought that might be a good wife.
Yeah,
he's pretty spectacular. Now let's get Tony in a top fuel. Yeah. No.
Didn't he qualify to run, Paul, or whatever you have to do?
I think he did what they call a half pass there.
Yeah.
And you have to do, I forget how many of them, but to actually qualify for the big leagues. And you also, one of the interesting things is a requirement on exiting the car, and they time you on it. And so they're pretty good at restricting who can actually get into the nitro categories.
I see.
So
it'd be interesting to see Tony try it, though. He's been successful
at
everything
out of the
else.
car fast enough, or what? So yeah, but I think his series is great. That would really be a shot of nitro in NHRA's series if Tony Stewart started running it.
Let me tell you a story. I don't know what Leah did with him, but what all of us would do whenever we had the chance. When they shut down, they shut down like a half an hour before the top fuel and funny cars came up. And if you had a guest or a friend, you'd get the credentials so you could take them out onto the starting line, right there in between the two cars.
Wow.
And this is a guy who's never been to I did this at Bristol once. It was more fun. Never been to any kind of drag race. And of course, when you got two top fuel dragsters on either side of you and they fire up, you can see his eyes, their eyes, just, and then when they launch, because that's a physical thing.
Yeah.
It's always fun to do that.
That's always been on my bucket list to be able to do that.
You got to do it. You got to do it. Maybe we can figure it out for the U.S. Nationals.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Well, I'm sure we'll comment on that. I've never been to a drag race before. What's considered a bigger deal? Top fuel or funny car?
I see them as pretty much equal. Supposedly, because of its history, top fuel is the thing. Funny car came along much after top fuel existed, but top fuel, you might talk me into a top fuel dragster for a half pass. I would never I don't even like standing near funny cars. They just look like they are trouble.
Yes.
What's Kenny Bernstein doing these days?
I don't know. That's a good question. Yeah. Making money, I'm sure.
I used to love it when he had his cars at the Indy 500.
Yeah.
And with who was it? Guerrero, Roberto ran for Kenny Bernstein. I think Jim Crawford as well. And it was always exciting. Wouldn't that be neat if Kenny Bernstein comes back? Kenny, come on back, come back and be part of the Indy 500 with
Kenny probably owns an island somewhere.
Probably.
He doesn't need us.
So just as long as he still comes back, he's, I'm sure, always welcome and everything.
Yeah.